welcome back to KAMMA. I'm Khalil Deal.
I'm Andy O.
And we are KAMMA, about to talk about UFC Fight Night. It looks like it's going to be an interesting one here with Jared Cannonier versus Imavov. What's his name? Nasruddin Imavov. All right. So we're going to talk about the early predictions for the prelims for this event. Jared Cannonier versus Nasruddin Imavov. Looks like a pretty large card this time here. Looks like it's going to be pretty interesting with, I believe, 14 fights. So we'll go through the early predictions for the prelims. Let's go through the card, what it looks like here. So far, we've got the first fight, Puja Tomar versus Rayan Amanda, or Rayan Dos Santos, some of them have. Cody Stamann against Taylor Lapilus. Eduarda Moura against Denise Gomez. Daniel Marcos against John Castaneda. Andrea Lee against Montana De La Rosa. Brad Katona against Jesse Butler. Charles Radke against Carlos Prates. And finally, the main event of the prelims, Thiago Moises versus Ludovic Klein. So this looks like it's going to be a pretty large event, large prelim here as well. All right, we'll start it off.
I think we're probably going to get a cancellation or two the ways these things go. So I'm glad the card is stacked up like this.
That's true. Yeah, there's always a couple cancellations every once in a while in these fights, in these events. So we'll see who sticks around. But we'll start off with the first fight here with Puja Tomar against Rayan Amanda. Who you got here, Andy O?
All right. Needless to say, this is going to be a pretty low-level women's fight for all our pleasure. I'm going to have to go with Rayan Amanda here. That's what's written here, right? I think, well, she has more experience, and I think she's going to be the stronger of the two. She also has the threat of submissions. Puja Tomar, I watched a couple of her fights just recently, and what she does impressively actually is she throws combinations with upper kicks pretty smoothly, and she's tough. You know, she tries, she won't quit, but really on the ground, I don't think she knows what she's doing down there, and she's lucky to get back up, and that's her only objective, right? Not saying that Amanda will sub her, but it's live for a sub. But overall, I think she's just going to be a little too much for Puja's debut here. So I'm going to have to go with Amanda at like no confidence.
Right. I'm with you 100% on this one, man. I'm also going with Rayan Amanda, or Rayan Dos Santos, whatever they call her. Yeah, definitely she has a lot of submissions, very good in jiu-jitsu. She's got 8 submission wins, 2 knockouts, and 4 decisions out of her 14 fights. She has fought. I mean, she's also making her UFC. No, actually, no. She did fight Talita Alankar in her UFC debut and lost a split decision there, so it could have went her way. Puja Tomar, though, is making her UFC debut, coming out of India here. And a lot of these Indian fighters, man, you know, not the greatest. She's got 6 wins by knockout, so she's pretty tough. 2 wins by decision.
Her stand-up, given a little space, is not that bad, but that's about it.
Okay, yeah, you've watched some fights of hers. I see that she's fought just a bunch of you know, low-level fighters in the you know, low-level events. Matrix Fight Night is where she comes out of there with a few wins there. But yeah, definitely, I like Rayan Amanda here in this one. Yeah, definitely has. She's already fought in the UFC once. Came close to getting the win with that split decision. Yeah, she's got the grappling advantage for sure in this one, and definitely the threat of submissions is good. If we look here at the graph here, we can see that she's just an inch taller than Puja. We don't know the reach of Puja, but we do know she's the reach of Rayan here at 62 inches. 29 years old. They're both practically the same age. She's Puja's 30, and Rayan's 29. I like the Brazilian fighters though, man. These guys, they know how to grapple. They know how to use the ground game and submissions, man. And if she's already got 8 submissions, I definitely think that she's going to be better on the ground than Pooja Tomar. So yeah, pick is definitely Rayanne Amanda in this one. Got her winning by sub or decision for sure in this one.
All
All right,
right, next.
moving on up the card to the next fight, we've got Cody Stamann against Taylor Lapilus. And of course, I got to go with the brother here. I got to go with Taylor Lapilus in this one, man. Taylor Lapilus, very good fighter. He's also good at wrestling, good on the ground. He's got good striking, he's got very good striking, very good leg kicks as well. He's 2 years younger than Cody Stamann, and he's also going to have a massive reach advantage. We're talking an 8.5-inch reach advantage here. So this is unbelievable. I tell you, man, with these guys, when they have a large reach advantage, if they Taylor Lapilus is one of those guys. He's very good at fighting at range, very good at striking at range. Cody Stamann's got those what do they call it? Those Tyrannosaurus Rex arms.
T-Rex arms.
Those T-Rex arms, and he's got very small arms, so his reach is really not big.
He's only 5'6" though.
Only 5'6", but so's Lapilus. But the reach is that he's got small arms, Cody Stamann. So for him to try to attack and get punches landed on Lapilus, he's going to have to get in close. And with an 8.5 reach advantage for Lapilus, he just has to keep his distance there and keep the striking going.
I didn't realize his reach was at such an advantage here, and he does know how to use it pretty well, I think, Lapilus. Yeah.
Oh yes, he does. Yeah, and again, 8.5 inches is not a joke.
Oh.
Not to mention also something that I have noticed here also about Cody Stamann is the fact that he's lost 4 out of his last 6 fights. Okay, really not a good look there. And the funny thing is about this is that he has lost to guys who know how to grapple. So his last fight, he lost unanimous decision to Douglas Silva de Andrade, another guy who knows how to grapple. He did beat Luan Lacerda by unanimous decision. Luan Lacerda, not that great. Eddie Wineland, not good. He knocked him out. But he lost to Said Nurmagomedov, a grappler. He lost to Mirab Dvalishvili, a grappler. And then he lost to Jimmy Rivera on at a UFC Fight Night, another guy who can grapple. So he's lost to 4 guys who can grapple and wrestle and only beat strikers, and Eddie Wineland and Luan Lacerda. So what it looks like to me is that he has a hard time against people who can grapple and take him down. So Lapilus is good at that. He's good at takedowns, good at grappling. This is why I think he's going to get the win here. So my pick is Lapilus getting the victory here by most likely a decision. Cody Stamann's, I don't believe he's ever been knocked out. Just going to double check that here, but I don't think he's ever been knocked out. Yeah, his losses have all come by submission or decision. So he's never been knocked out. I think that Lapilus gets the win here by decision in this one.
Yeah, my pick has to be Lapilus also. Stamann's going to try and, come at him with punches and try to, only basically to work the takedown, workman-like Cody Stamann style. I think Lapilus has the edge in skill. I think his striking is more technical. I think he's going to keep Corey Stamann off of him. And I'm decently impressed with Lapilus. Like the last fight he lost was against Farid Basharat. And
yeah, not a bad loss at all.
Yeah, it went to decision, not a bad loss at all. And he pretty much beat Kaulan Loran without much of a challenge when there was some half-decent hype on Loran coming into that fight, right? Yeah. Although Lapilus was the favorite. So yeah, I'm going to have to go with Lapilus on this one.
Yeah, not to mention Lapilus has 6 wins by submission, 4 knockouts, 9 decisions. So actually I'm going to say that he wins by submission or decision because Cody Stamann has lost by sub or decision. So that's a good one there. All right, moving on up the card here next.
So next we have Eduarda Moura and Denise Gomez. Pick here is going to be Eduarda Moura. I think this fight should be pretty good for as long as it lasts as far as lower level women's fights go. I expect Moura to get her down and hit her up with some of that good ground and pound she has. That's one of her weapons, I feel. and she has 4 wins by knockout, 5 wins by sub. She can get subs as well. And this is going to be her second fight in the UFC. She beat Montserrat Ruiz the last time, as she probably should have. So I expect her to keep the ball rolling here. I don't think too highly of Denise Gomes. Who you got, Khalil?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you as well in this one here. I got Eduarda Moura to win as well. Yeah, Eduarda Moura, man, she is like she is really really good on the ground. She is definitely a very good wrestler and grappler, very good at submissions. And if we look at Denise Gomez here, she has lost. She actually no, she got taken down by Angela Hill actually like 3 or 4 times in that fight.
Yeah.
She got taken down by Luma Lukbumi, who she lost to as well. And even in her last fight, she lost to a heel hook submission to Giovanna Canuto. And that was also, she got taken down by her. So
That was in a grappling match, though.
uh,
Grappling. The Canuto match was a grappling match.
yeah. So just to say that, you know, she's not good against grapplers is what I'm trying to say here. And Eduarda's BJJ is just way too good compared to Denise Gomez. Denise Gomez is more of a striker. She keeps her fights on the feet most of the time. And Eduarda Moura could scrap, man. She can also fight on the feet. She's very strong. She's very built. She's going to be bigger than Denise Gomez by a lot. We're talking a 4-inch height advantage here, and also a 3-inch reach advantage as well. So yeah, Eduarda Moura is going to stomp Denise Gomez in this fight, I believe, and get the win here. I have her winning by submission or decision as well here in this fight.
Yeah.
All right, moving on up the card. Next, we got Daniel Marcos against John Castaneda. This one's going to be a close fight. John Castaneda is no slouch. He's a sexy Mexi, very good. He's got 21 wins, 6 losses. Daniel Marcos, 15-0, undefeated. And he's from Peru. We got to represent our boy Javier, who's also from Peru.
This is the only Peruvian that hasn't let me down lately. So let's see what happens.
All right. And he's going to be a slight height advantage there of 1-inch height advantage. They're about the same reach, 2-inch reach advantage for Castaneda. Daniel Marcos, though, is just a better fighter overall. I think he's fought the better fighters. We look at the record here of Daniel Marcos with his 15-0 record. He has fought, he beat, there was a no contest against Aori Kilang there. It was a groin strike in that one. But he beat Davy Grant, who's also really good. And he beat Simon Oliveira. And that was his 2 first fights in the UFC. So I like Daniel Marcos in this one. I think he's a better fighter overall. I think he's going to be very good at the striking. And Castaneda, who's he really fought? Let's take a look here.
Fought a lot more guys, bro, than Marcos. He's been in the UFC for a while.
He has. I just want to see who he's fought recently here.
He's fought Gufarov, who he beat. He lost to Daniel Santos. He beat Miles Johns. He beat Eddie Wineland.
Chung Ho Kang is his last win. Moeen Gafarov, yeah. Lost to he lost to Daniel Santos with a knee there. Oh wow, okay. He did beat Miles Johns, Eddie Wineland. Yeah, so he has fought a bit more in the UFC. But Daniel Marcos, I like this guy a little bit more. Slight lean towards him. Think he's going to be the better fighter in this one. Just a bit more better in the striking, I believe, in this one for over Castaneda. And I think he's very good at stuffing the takedowns here. So that's going to be one of the reasons.
Yeah. So your pick's Marcos?
Daniel Marcos is the pick. I have him winning by either decision or maybe even a knockout.
Yeah, this is going to be a very close one. I think Castaneda is going to try to take him down. Marcos, we have yet to see how really good his takedown defense is. It is a bigger cage, right? So that may be a little harder for Castaneda to apply. But Castaneda's a dog, man. He's gritty. He's going to bring the fight to Marcos here. I do think Marcos is the better striker. He has good hands. He also has good front kicks, which keep the opponent on edge here. Uh, Castaneda does have some power, and I feel if he has some success with wrestling, he'll win. And I think he's tough enough to maybe surprise Marcos in there. Look, I'm going to go slight 51% lean with John Castaneda here. Uh, yeah, so this pick can flip, but for right now, I'm going to go with Castaneda.
Alrighty,
By decision.
by decision. Okay,
But
moving
man, I'm
on.
talking 51-49 here. It's so close, you know? Just
Yeah.
these Peruvian Suns, man, they haven't like really been winning for me. So
All right, next
all
fight,
right.
we got Andrea Lee here against Montana De La Rosa. I'm not gonna talk too much about this fight here. I'm actually going to go with Andrea Lee in this one. I think she's going to be the better fighter. Montana De La Rosa has just also been very. I'm not. Both of these fighters are horrible. Okay, as you can see it by the record here, Andrea Lee lost her 4 last fights. Montana De La Rosa lost her last 3 fights. I mean, they're both really horrible fighters. It's going to be a very low level fight here with these two women. Andrea Lee, man, I just think she's a bit tougher and actually has a better ground game. Actually, I think that she's actually better at wrestling. Uh, she's got a loss to Miranda Maverick by unanimous decision. Natalia Silva, Macy Barber, Vivian Arroyo. Those were her last 4 losses. She beat Cynthia Calvillo though before that. And if we go look at Montana De La Rosa, she lost to she's lost to Jillian Robertson by decision there. JJ Aldrich, she lost to as well. She lost to Tatiana Suarez. And she's also lost to Macy Barber as well. And then she beat Ariana Lipsky. So there's also a missing loss in there that they didn't put. So, but she also has 4 losses in her last in her last 5 fights. One of them was a draw there as well. So against Mara Bueno Silva. But it's a tough one to call here. I like the fact that Montana De La Rosa does have some submissions. She could be a submission threat. She is young. You know what? No, you know what? I'm going with Montana De La Rosa. I'm going against the grain here. I was going to go Andrea Lee. Just, they're both so bad, but I just like the fact that Montana De La Rosa fought the better fighters after just reading the fighters that she fought. And also the submission ability and the fact that she's younger at 29 years old. She's also packing a 1-inch height advantage. I think Montana De La Rosa can pull this off, man. You know what? I was going to go Andrea Lee, but flipping the pick to Montana De La Rosa by submission or decision here. I just like the sub threat about her.
I didn't think there was a grain in this fight, but I guess I'm sticking with the grain and going with Andrea Lee. Uh, close fight. I think Lee's stand-up is better. Dolorosa may be better getting it to the ground, but Andrea Lee's not the easiest to get there. And it's going to be hard to sub Andrea Lee. Like, I don't know if Montana De La Rosa lost all her fights to better competition lately. It's pretty close. Like, Silva's not bad. Barber, they both lost to. Like, she's on the up. Vivian Arroyo, Maverick even. They were all pretty close fights, except I guess for the Natalia Silva one, who seemed to be almost toying with her at one point because she was just so much faster. Um, so I'm gonna have to lean slightly with Andrea Lee. Again, like very little confidence.
Yeah, man, it's hard to pick which one of these two are going to win. The only thing that made me convinced is that JJ Aldrich recently looked really good. As she lost to JJ Aldrich by decision there. Also,
Yeah,
Jillian Robertson also is a very good submission specialist, Jillian Robertson, and she was not able to sub Montana De La Rosa, and that's why I kind of like Montana De La Rosa being able to have that little edge on the ground with the subs. Like
I,
Montana De La Rosa has 8 submission wins. one knockout and 3 decisions. So out of her 12 fights, 8 by sub. I gotta lean more towards Montana Rosa, just having the submission ability over Andrea Lee.
Yeah, just don't think Lee's gonna get caught in it, but you never know. All right, so we disagree on this one, and just gonna have to let the
The
chips.
flip, the pick might flip by the Friday final prediction, so we'll see. But for now, I was kind of leaning Andrea Lee, to be honest. But I'm looking at the losses and everything, man. They both suck. But you know what? I'm going for the younger girl at 29 here over the 35-year-old. I think that's what's giving it for me, is the age difference and the submission ability gives her the slight edge.
Well,
All right.
one of these should get released after the next fight.
Yeah, seriously, whoever loses is out of here. Like
Uh,
this is unacceptable. Too
all
many.
right, so
Moving on up the card.
next we got Brad Katona against Jesse Butler. Now Brad Katona is the biggest favorite on the card. He's well rounded. He's better pretty much everywhere, I would say, than Butler, except for Butler's submission ability. But I don't think that's going to really matter too much in this fight. Butler fought at 2 weights above his regular weight class last time, so he's really dropping down a ton. Who knows if
Oh
he's even
yeah, he's dropping down a lot of weight, man.
who knows if he's even going to make the weight, man. But if
Yeah,
he does and looks like a beast in there, he could be twice the guy's size. Uh, and Brad Katona, well-rounded, solid. He won the Ultimate Fighter, I believe, twice. I don't know
yeah.
if that's good or kind of like a curse. I don't think this fight should be as wide as it is. I do predict Brad Katona to win a decision, though. Another reason why I don't think this fight should be as wide as it is because Katona is not a finisher. I really think this fight is going to go to decision. I don't think he's going to even be able to put Butler away if this fight happens. So yeah, the pick's Katona. He's just overall better. I'm not even sure Butler is UFC caliber.
Yeah, and not to mention Jesse Butler got knocked out severely badly by Jim Miller in his last fight there by left hook and uppercut in the first round in 23 seconds. Just really brutally knocked him out in that fight. So Brad Katona he's also got some knockouts as well. I got Brad Katona as well in this one. I think he's the better fighter here. I think he's the stronger fighter also. He also has 3 subs, 9 decisions. Brad Katona is also decent on the ground. He lost his UFC. No, actually, he beat Cody Gibson in his UFC debut. Then he lost to Garrett Armfield, who's also decent. But yeah, Jesse Butler, I don't think is up to par yet. And I think dropping in weight from going from 155 to 135 is absolutely insane. That's a 20-pound weight loss he's got to cut. Whereas Brad Katona he walks around at that weight. You know what I mean? So
I don't know about that.
well, I mean he's
Where
very
he's cutting from. Yeah.
he doesn't have to cut much. You know what I mean?
No.
Compared to Butler. So I got Brad Katona as well in this one, getting the win here. I think he's just much better than Jesse Butler. All right. We'll move on up the card. Not much to talk about in this one here. Next fight is going to be Charles Radke against Carl. Now, this is going to be a banger. This is going to be a banger.
I can't wait for this fight, man.
I like Charles Radke in this one. I just think he's a dog. He's crazy.
No way.
Yeah, I like Charles Radke in this one. I think he's a dog. He's crazy. This guy. He's absolutely wild. He's relentless with his attacking. He comes at you. He strikes really, really powerful. He's overall good everywhere. Look at this guy. He's just been on a winning streak lately, doing very, very well. And I just think he's got that dog in him, man. And just a crazy guy, man. A good street fighter. Very good on the feet. Good all around, man. He's got 4 wins by knockout, 2 subs, 3 decisions. All around fighter, like I said there. He lost to Eric Anders by decision. He got, it was a grappling match though in the Fury Pro. But he has beaten Gilbert Urbina. He beat Mike Mathetha, Blood Diamond there. He's just a beast, man. I really think that he's going to get the win here. And Carlos Pratis is good. Just I don't think he's as crazy as Charles Radke. And I think Charles Radke is also going to be able to defend the takedowns here against Pratis.
Yeah, the pick for me is Radke as well, man. You're right for sure. He's the dog. He's grittier, and you know me, I like going with the dogs if it makes sense here. I think if look, Pratis has good Muay Thai with that Muay Thai stance. If Radke doesn't stick in it for too long, as I don't think he will, upon breaking out of it, I think he's going to just rip him with body shots. And I'm not so sure how good Pratis really is in defending subs, right? On the ground there. And
Yeah, he's
I
lost
think,
3 times by sub
yeah,
actually.
he's lost 3 times by sub. I think Radke is live for a sub here. And I'm going with Johnny Buffalo on this one, man. I think he's gonna move on to good things. I think he's gonna like build up his hype. And he's gonna go on a roll here. That's just a gut feeling. And I think this is a great dog pick for the card. So the pick is Radke for me.
Yeah, same here. I mean, Pratis beat Mitch Ramirez, who's really not that great. And Trevin Giles, he knocked him out with a left hook. But I mean, Trevin Giles' chin is finished.
And Radke is like so much more of a dog than Giles, you know, Officer
Yeah,
Giles.
exactly.
Officer Giles needs backup, man, for those dog guys. All right, next. We got is this
The main event of the prelims.
the main event of the prelims? All right, we got Thiago Moises and Ludovic Klein. This is the breakdown for me. I think Thiago Moses has basically hit his peak. And whenever I see a Thiago Moses fight, I don't really have to analyze it too much. I can just look at the other guy and think, should like a static Thiago Moises that's never going to get better or much worse for a little while, do I think he can beat this guy? And it's pretty obvious, I think. I know it's kind of like just a thought here and there's no like calculation involved. But when I look at this fight, I think Ludovic Klein should win. We know that Thiago Moises is going to try to get it to the ground. Ludovic Klein has good movement. He's been working on his takedown defense and he has more power in his hands. He's a way better striker. I think we've seen the top of Thiago Moises' striking, and it's really not that impressive. Like the guy has a bit of heart, but he's not like the toughest guy around. And if you put it on, you can beat him. And Ludovic Klein looks like his striking is getting very precise. The pick is Ludovic Klein here. Am I on the ball here with the way I see Thiago Moises? Do you see him like improving beyond this point, or?
No, I actually agree with you here, man. I think
Like you kind of know what you're gonna get, you know?
yeah, I got Ludovic Klein as well in this one. I do still think that Thiago Moises is live for a submission because that is his game, man. He likes to get you on the ground. He's got good subs.
Yeah, if he finds that he winds up in the right position, he does have skills for sure.
But Ludovic Klein's takedown defense is amazing, man. This guy is really, really good at stopping the takedown. He's really good at keeping the fight on the feet. Moises is going to have to really struggle to get him down. And even if he gets him down, Klein can get back up quickly. He's a very strong guy, very durable, Ludovic Klein. And you can see here, he's on a winning streak here. Thiago Moises lost 2 of his last 5 fights. Not going to really dwell on this one too much. I like Ludovic Klein really a little bit more in this one. Thiago Moises just recently, I mean, his last loss was against Benoit Saint-Denis, which is not really a bad loss, but ground and pound. He lost also to Joel Alvarez prior to that, and of course Islam Makhachev. We can't fault him for that. But you know, he's only beaten Mitch Ramirez and Melquizael Costa in his last 4 fights there. He beat Christos Giagos, who's also not that great. So yeah, I like Ludovic Klein in this one. I think he's going to get the win. Just out of pure toughness, man. I think he's just a tougher guy. 9 knockouts, 8 submissions for Ludovic Klein, man. So he's also live for some subs there too, and he's good at some jiu-jitsu as well. So
what I like about him is he has nice kicks to the body as well, and he knows how to like hit to the body when it's a good idea to do so. His last fight against AJ Cunningham,
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Kick to the body, that's how he beat him, with the kick to the body.
And that was beautiful. I love
He's got that kick to the liver area, which is very, very deadly. And he also beat Ignacio Bahamondes, who I find is really, really good as well.
Love Bahamondes, yeah. Love both of them.
So yeah, pick is Ludovic Klein in this one. Nice. We're agreeing in a lot of this ones this time. Not like last week where we disagreed on 5 fights and the whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one only a couple disagreements here, but we're looking good. And out of 8 fights, to only disagree on 2 is pretty good here for the prelims. All right, like and subscribe, folks. Here you have it, the early predictions for the prelims. Come check out our next show for the early predictions for the main card. Like and subscribe, folks. Peace out.